Dr. Umar, man. Dr. Umar Johnson goes off on Jay-Z, Diddy, Eminem, Michelle Rubin, and much more and everything. I've been meaning to actually do a Dr. Umar. Dude, there is a lot of things that he says that, oh man, he's on point. And there's some things that I disagree with, you know, but I do think that my race of people need to unite a little more so we can not only understand each other, figure something out. We need to stand together and stop hurting each other. But anyway, without any further ado, don't forget the Music Recording Network Live. It's our live channel, the Music Recording Network Live. Don't forget, y'all, we're pushing that channel, the Music Recording Network Live. You can put that in the search bar. Can't hear myself with the headphones on. The Music Recording Network Live. Scroll down a little bit, you'll see the word written in red. Live. You see the word live written in red. So, without any further ado, y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. This is gonna be a long video, so let's check it out. Here we go.
What do you think about the man of Jay-Z?
Joe, the disturbing civil case that was filed against Sean Combs back in October was just amended today. A small change with big implications, naming Jay-Z as the person initially identified in the suit as Celebrity A and accusing both men of raping a 13-year-old girl together back in 2000.
What I'm saying, get all the pedophiles, get all the sex traffickers. Don't make my people the scapegoat for it.
In 100 years, how do you think Jay-Z is viewed amongst black people?
And when are they giving us a law?
There's a Reform Alliance. So you have Michael Rubin, Wallow, Meek Mill, Jay-Z, all these people.
Michael Rubin.
He don't like Rubin.
Puffy made Diageo settle out of court. They wouldn't even go to trial. He made, and guess what? He basically embarrassed them. And they said, we're gonna get his ass back. We're gonna show, and remind you, they are a British-based company.
I did see that you've been having this conversation about hip hop, and it's where it has not did anything in 50 years.
So are you considering hip hop a fraternity? I didn't say individuals.
When did there's a conscious hip hop. There is a conscious hip hop.
There is, but when did hip hop overall?
We're speaking about variety.
Fraternities and sororities are too diverse to judge an entire organization.
Oh, this gonna be good.
Because there's just too much variety amongst them. I speak in colleges all the time. I'm impressed with some of the stuff that they're doing at certain places. In other places, I'm like, they need to shut this chapter down because all y'all want to do is haze people, get drunk, and party, march at the parties. The fraternities and sororities are much more structured. Much more structured.
I would disagree with that. Tell me why you think they're much more structured. You just spoke about the hazing. You just spoke about some of the...
And you can get your chapter snatched. You can go to jail if you get caught doing that stuff.
You can go to jail for doing some of the stuff the rappers do.
Glad you brought that up. Did you hear that lawyer who's representing the 120 victims say we're going after the participants in the freak-offs? Now, I want to see how this goes. You want to know why? Because it wasn't all black people at them freak-offs. And if you start digging into holes, you're going to pull a lot of crackers out them holes. Are y'all following me?
Yeah.
Look at all the nepotism y'all get. Look at all the owners who shouldn't be owners. Look at all the coaches who shouldn't be coaches. Look at all the GMs who shouldn't be GMs. You talk about some nepotism. Look what happened with Ime Udoka 2 seasons ago with the Boston Celtics when he cheated on one of the white men in the hierarchy's wife, which was wrong. He had no business doing that, whether she was white or not. And they exposed Ime Udoka. We never even heard the name of the white woman who voluntarily cheated with him.
See, I would say using context clues that, all right, 10 years or however long it's been, I would say that has to be some people that gave some money at some point that's saying, all right.
There might be, but they're not the majority.
Would you say that you've mismanaged donations in any?
Absolutely not. Oprah is a...
You suggesting Jay is a coon?
He has some coonish tendencies. fact that Puffy's arrest was also a distraction from the fact that one of the main reasons that the port workers were going to strike or are going to strike is because they said that they were tired of hearing children banging on the shipping containers at the docks. Did y'all hear what I just said?
Whoa, whoa, did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Yeah, man, it's getting worse. Did y'all hear that? We haven't even gotten started yet, man, and I'm ready to rewind.
The fact that Puffy's arrest was also a distraction from the fact that one of the main reasons that the port workers were going to strike or are going to strike is because they said that they were tired of hearing children banging on the shipping containers at the docks. Did y'all hear what I just said? A whole industry that's about to boycott because they're getting sick and tired of transported on the docks.
Damn, I never heard that.
Yes.
Where is this at?
It's on the internet.
This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks,
See what
the
I'm
most
saying?
exciting way to play daily fantasy sports.
See what I'm saying?
Don't miss out on
All behind your back, pass it.
Oh my God, that's crazy,
Salute to Prize
man.
Picks for supporting the movement. And let's get back to the episode.
Lee Moses, man. Let me see this.
Help me understand. If
You're
say my
dribbling the
ancestors-
ball behind your back, passing
that's
it
how you
off
supposed
to
to
Luke
do.
Skywalker.
Yeah.
You're gonna alley-oop to Moses Malone.
Okay, go ahead.
Moses Malone gonna do a step past to Beyonce. Beyonce gonna do a double dip back dunk to Michael Jackson. He gonna roll it over to Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks gonna take it to Lord of the Rings.
Shout out to It's Up There. It's Up There. I'm sorry, I usually do this in the beginning. Shout out to It's Up There channel. This is coming from this brother's channel, man. And shout out goes out to him. Y'all go over there and subscribe. Hit his. We all try to grow these channels, and that's the least we can do after he took the time to put this video on and everything together. Is to help market and promote his channel as well. As brothers, as YouTubers, we always try to help one another. So mad respect go out to him and all that good stuff. So, and I apologize because I should have said that in the beginning, but y'all go check his channel out, baby. Tell him the Music Recording Network sent you. The MC, Mike Frost. That's me. Here we go.
Lord of the Rings gonna take.
So help me, listen, help me understand. No. Help me understand. Let's bring it back. Help me understand. You're giving promises.
To children who graduate from the school. That's completely different from being the United States of America.
See, you keep giving me job titles. I'm talking about intentions. I don't care about job titles.
Okay.
You're telling me that you just told me 5 minutes ago, I have a certain barometer because of my ancestors. I'm obligated to stand out on the hill and get these institutions done. Right? You just told me that. Then the next sentence.
I love the AKAs. Lord knows I love some 5-5 thicker than 5 deltas. But what the hell that got to do with policy for Black America?
Yeah, I didn't like that. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like that.
It was empty symbolism.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Empty symbolism.
I did not like what
On the day, Dr. King, a member of the Alpha Phi Alphas, Negro, please.
Yeah, I didn't like
I bet you Dr. King was in his grave, said, Negro, please.
Yeah. I didn't like that.
I love the Divine Nine.
Yeah.
But don't feed us a symbol. And to that point, I got to throw this at the Divine Nine. Y'all raised $30 million in one night. And all of them come from Black communities
30 million.
without a single decent school, without a single decent hospital, without a single bank that will invest in our businesses, without a single decent place for our mothers to get food to feed their children. Look at what we did just for her to run. Just for her to run. You don't get the money back. 30 million in a night. That's at least 5 schools right there. So we got the money. We just don't care enough to invest in the future of our children.
Did you ever, were you ever gonna join?
I was going to join Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated Harrisburg grad chapter because we didn't have no Qs at Millersville University in Lancaster. And somebody hated on me and sent my information to the wrong address. So when I showed up for the first night, Mad Dog from Temple University told me since I didn't have on a shirt and a tie, I couldn't come in. And it wasn't meant.
Right.
It wasn't meant.
Did you, I mean, what's your feeling about fraternities? And
Everything's neutral. It's how you use it. Dr. King was Alpha Phi Alpha. Dr. 𝗗𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦 was Omega Psi Phi. Major Dr. Martin Robinson Delaney, grandfather of Pan-Africanism, he was a Mason. Prince Hall, another Pan-Africanist, he was a Mason. So it's all neutral. It's what you do with it. In other words, at TSU, the fraternities might actually be, sororities might actually be into community service. They might actually be into stop the violence. They might actually be into growing black businesses. I might go down the road to FIST and it might just be a party happy situation.
Right.
It all depends where you are. The fraternities and sororities are too diverse to judge an entire organization because there's just too much variety amongst them. I speak in colleges all the time. I'm impressed with some of the stuff that they're doing at certain places. And other places, I'm like, they need to shut this chapter down because all y'all want to do is haze people, get drunk, and party, march at the parties.
Can you imagine your sorority? He's talking about your sorority and everything. See, now y'all see why I ain't never go to college. But I'm understanding the facts. I can't spit it back out though.
You know what I mean? So it really all depends on the chapter.
Right.
But in essence,
wow.
I support them because many of our ancestors came through those channels and they used it for good.
What about, but see, here's now, this is where I want to go. I want to take the conversation to a different spot. Because you're sounding like you're passionate and you care about fraternities.
Yeah.
But I did see that you've been having this conversation about hip hop, and it's where it has not did anything in 50 years.
So are you considering hip hop a fraternity?
I'm considering hip hop. Well, I want to explore this conversation.
Okay.
I want to explore the fraternity and hip hop.
Because if they are a fraternity, who are their founders? And who do they pay dues to?
Well, you know, see, here we go. This is where it gets interesting.
Them same people that own LeBron. Keep going.
See? All right. But do you acknowledge?
This is why I just letting you know, LeBron just stepped down from the Lakers. As soon as he stepped down, Doctor. Listen to what he said about hip hop, right? Just listen.
And hip hop.
Because if they are a fraternity, who are their founders? And who do they pay dues to?
Well, you know, see, here we go.
Now watch this.
This is where it gets interesting.
Them same people that own LeBron. Keep going.
See? All right. But do you acknowledge that fraternities and hip hop are somewhat parallel?
How?
No?
How? Tell me.
The sense of belonging to something. There's
The
more.
fraternities and sororities are much more structured. Much more structured.
I would disagree with that. Tell me why you think they're much more structured. You just spoke about the hazing. You just spoke about some of the...
And you can get your chapter snatched. You can go to jail if you get caught doing that stuff.
You can go to jail for doing some of the stuff the rappers do.
Okay, look at the principles that the fraternities and the sororities stand for. This is their...
But you just spoke about variety. And so I would say hip hop has
variety
the same
in
variety.
activity. There's no variety in the principles that they stand for. What are the principles that hip hop stand on again?
Depends on who you're speaking with.
Why is it different? Because whether I go to this chapter of Deltas or that
That's
chapter
not
of
true.
Deltas...
That's
or
not
that-
true.
Yes, it is.
That's not true because some of them don't view hazing in the way that others
you're talking
view
about
hazing.
hazing. You're talking about an activity. I'm talking about the principles.
Well,
that the
okay,
organization-
but so how does the principles relate to the activities?
Well, you got to speak to them directly. I don't want to.
So in hip hop, the principles could be, yo, we don't want to see killing. There could be people that have those.
When
principles.
was that a principle?
There's several people right now that have those.
No.
Principles.
When was that a principle for the genre? I didn't say individuals.
Again, there's a
conscious
hip hop. There is a conscious hip hop.
There is, but when did hip hop overall?
We're speaking about variety.
No. Because see, now you keep flipping back.
Yeah.
No. When did hip hop ever put forth a code of conduct?
Never.
So what the hell are we talking about?
I don't believe that exempts or stops the conversation between the parallels of fraternities and hip hop.
I don't think there's a parallel. There's too much structure in fraternities and sororities to be compared with hip hop, where people do whatever they want, whenever they want, and the only person they got to answer to is the law. In fraternities and sororities, you have to answer to the hierarchy and the leadership. There is no leadership in hip hop. You ain't got to go have a conversation with Russell Simmons if you did some bad shit.
You just told me, though, that people come out of hip hop are controlled. So there are leadership, it just may not be black leadership.
Absolutely. Crackers run their ass.
Yeah.
That's my point.
All right. But in your opinion, you respect fraternities and hip hop has done nothing for black people?
Nothing relevant that I've seen. Is there an institution they've given us in 50 years? Anybody know? Have they built a school?
Fraternities built a school?
You're comparing fraternities to hip hop.
Yes.
The counter argument could be that fraternities have given us some of the best minds we've ever had.
What do you think about the mind of Jay-Z?
Okay, so let's go. Alpha Phi Alpha gave us Dr. King, and hip hop gave us Jay-Z. Are we really going to sit here and compare Sean Carter to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.?
Not in current time, maybe. I mean, we have
I don't give a damn
lot
what
of respect.
time. Voting Rights Act.
I don't give a damn what time. Facts. That's facts.
Compare Sean Carter to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Not in current time, maybe. I mean, we have
I don't give a damn
lot
what
of respect.
time. Voting Rights Act, Civil Rights Bill,
I don't know, bro.
Federal Housing Act. Are you serious? What law is Sean Carter responsible for again?
He's been a part of a few laws
What
being
law?
changed, reform as it pertains to.
What law did Sean Carter get us?
I'm gonna speak about the reform initiative.
Give me the name of a law that he fought for and got passed.
Meek Mill just got it passed on behalf of.
I didn't ask you about Meek.
Meek is working on behalf of Jay.
I didn't ask you about that.
Meek is working on it. Listen,
and when are they giving us a law?
There's a reform alliance. So you have Michael Rubin, Wallow, Meek Mill, Jay-Z, all these people.
Michael Rubin.
He don't like Rubin. I guess it's fair to say that.
First of all, no parasite is going to participate in any kind of insight for the black community. All Caucasians in the music industry are parasites. They feed everyone. They feed off the low consciousness of the black community, and they exploit it for profit right in front of our faces. And what hurts me to heaven is the fact that they would never let their own Jewish children promote the type of filth they finance our kids to promote.
But let's get back to Jay-Z. You don't think...
I like Jay-Z.
In 100 years, how do you think Jay-Z is viewed amongst black people?
One of the great rappers. I don't really see
Great
him.
rappers? Businessmen, entrepreneur?
That too. But you had a lot of businessmen who are coons. Oprah is a...
You suggesting Jay is a coon?
He has some coonish tendencies.
You got to have some coonish tendencies in order to do business with the coons, if that's what you want to call them. You gotta speak the language in order to do business with the people.
I mean, he's no activist out here in these streets.
No, he's not an activist.
I mean, he's paid to get activists out of jail. I appreciate that. He's paid for documentaries of people who've gotten murdered by the police. I appreciate that. But outside of that, media stuff, and of course paying for them to get out of jail. But what institution? You're a billionaire. Billionaires need to build institutions. There's no getting around that for me. What institution is Jay-Z building?
If this is the playbook, why are you the only one with it?
It takes dedication. It takes commitment to your people. It ain't easy to do it. This is a 10-year effort. We took 5 years to raise the money, 5 years to get the school built. When you say you're going to put an institution out there, that's tremendous sacrifice of time, energy, money, everything, bro. I live mine, so I can do it. They don't live that.
What do you say
Why do you think so many of them got charter schools? Why is a billionaire with a charter school? Why do you need a welfare check from the government to run a school for kids in your neighborhood? Because you don't care enough to put your own money out there. That's why.
What do you say to...
They're not serious.
What do you say to the person that was 15 when you started to take donations for the school, and they're 25 now.
What do you mean what I say, John?
And they have some questions about where's the school, what's going on with the school. I really wanted to see the school happen. What do you say to those people?
They will see the school happen, and they will be able to participate in the manhood programs that we have for their age group, so they won't lose out.
So what makes you different than the politician?
What the, huh?
Okay, so listen, you're saying,
I live everything I talk, bro.
Right, and I know you, so I know what's going on. But for the sake of conversation,
put the school to the side. If I never opened up a school, no psychologist in American
but we can't
history,
put the school to the side.
No, but listen to what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
Because and the school is coming, so I don't mind if they want to judge me by it. That's fine. But I'm saying in a real fair analysis, if I never even endeavored to open up a school, look at how I've transformed forever the way black parents do business with the school system or the mental health system. No black psychologist has ever come along and done what I've done for the black community as it relates to protecting our children. None of them. And Amos Wilson is the greatest of all time. Even he didn't lay down what I laid down for the black community. When a black mother walks into the school now, she know her rights, she know what to say, what not to say, she know the diagnosis, she know the process, she know the IEP, she knows it. What other psychologists have ever given our parents free consultation to help them save their kids? Nobody has saved more black boys from the school to prison pipeline than Dr. 𝗗𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦 in American history. If I never opened up a school,
why is that even an option to say?
What you mean?
If I never open up a school, when you've been campaigning about the school for so long?
Because some people want to reduce you to that which has not yet manifested. So sometimes it becomes necessary for me to shine a light on all the other things that I have done. Look at all the black children and corner boys I've gotten off the corner. Look at how many young people changed their life around after I visited their prison, after I visited their halfway house, after I visited their jail. Most of the work I've done can't properly be documented because it's done in a mental health context where you ain't allowed to necessarily talk about it because it's all private, right? It's all under HIPAA law or FERPA law, but the work is there. The work is there. When history is written of the 21st century and they talk about education and mental health, if I'm not in that conversation, it's not the real history. I don't say that to brag. I just say I ain't been sitting around working on a school these 25 years. I have transformed the way we think and the way we behave about our children. And all I'm saying is some credit is due for that.
It definitely is, and I give it to you. You know, I think you wanted to.
Facts, man. Dr. Hey, I'm letting y'all know facts. This man is deep, man. Y'all need to check him out more.
The most, I would give it up for that. You know, I always tell you, one of the most brilliant people I've ever spoke with. My mother loves you, right? That's why you got
Mama
you so
Loon,
much.
shout out.
Yeah, she loves you, bro. She loves you. But I think that the conversation could, you know, for you to even be saying, I think that can come off concerning to donors or people who has been on this journey with you. Just the ideas like me, if I'm headed into a fight. Floyd Mayweather, imagine Floyd Mayweather saying, if I lose today.
That's not a good example.
Why not?
Because he's coonish.
No, I'm saying in the context.
He also stood with Israel against Gaza.
Yeah,
go ahead.
We're gonna get to that. But I'm saying in the context of a fight, with him being 50-0, all the people that's watching him, all the people that's invested in his career, thinking that he thinks I'm the best ever. I ain't gonna.
What you're saying is, if he gets knocked out at 50,
yes,
does that erase how great he was in the ring? Not for me.
Not for you, but the idea prior to him even being knocked out. If he's at a press conference entertaining the idea.
The only thing changes for me is he's retiring without a perfect record. Me personally, I want him to stop getting in the ring because I think one day they're going to catch him. Are y'all following me?
Yeah.
You're getting 2-0, one day they're going to catch you. You follow what I'm saying? Or the judge is going to rule against you. You see what I'm saying? Stop going in there. But that's who he is. He's a fighter, so I understand that. I'm an activist. I know what it means to get in there.
But if you're someone that's been betting with Floyd, like for lack of a better term, people been betting with you for the last 10 years, right? On the school thing. So if you someone been betting with Floyd in all these 50 fights, he's never showed an inch of an inch of confidence not being there. So he's always thought, I'm gonna knock the person out, or I'm gonna win. I'm gonna be the person, this is gonna happen. This is gonna be 51-0. I ain't undefeated. I'm not gonna lose. But then you hear him talk, and he says, well, even if I lose, man, it's okay to lose now. I done enough.
I would be okay with that.
But what about the donors hearing you saying that even if I don't open this school?
No. Don't take me saying even if I don't.
But that's why I want you to clarify for the people watching, because there are people. No.
They know.
There are people watching this in these views that's gonna say, why is he even entertaining the fact that the school may not be open?
Because you're bringing it up. That's the only reason why I'm entertaining.
Yep, I was great. Say he don't. My man brought it up. He didn't never say it wasn't going to happen. He said it is going to happen. I don't understand that part.
There are people watching this in these views that's going to say, why is he even entertaining the fact that the school may not be open?
Because you're bringing it up. That's the only reason why I'm entertaining. Me saying even if the school did not materialize is to shine a light on everything else I've done these 25 years of my career. That's it. The school is coming. Without question, the school is coming. That's one of the reasons why I don't pay a lot of attention to the negativity, because once the school comes, they'll find something else to pick on. If I'm going to respond to the hate, I'm going to be responding to it all my life. Once the school opens, they will latch on to something else. Are y'all following me? And then they will latch on to something else. This will never end, because this campaign against FDMG isn't born out of a sincere concern for the people. Nobody criticizing me has done anything for their community. None of them. So this can't be about the community because you've done nothing for it. This is about hate and jealousy that already the most popular Pan-Africanist of the 21st century, the most popular social activist probably in American history. I don't think you can name a person, maybe King, maybe Frederick Douglass, my ancestor, who was as popular as I am and also as uncompromising. I think I'm the first at this stage,
Me
right?
too.
So my point being is, why pay attention to the negative talk about a goal you have that you know you will achieve? Let your actions do your talking.
Is money worth more than a vote?
What do you mean?
If I would, is me donating to Kamala worth more than me voting for Kamala?
Yes, initially yes. Because money is what put candidates in a position to win. And this is why black people often can't control our candidates, because we don't finance them. If you're running for mayor of Nashville, the first question I'm gonna ask them, how much money are we gonna raise so Loon don't have to take no money from Caucasians? Because the minute he gotta take a dollar from a Caucasian, he's gonna have to compromise his position. Yes, money is more important than votes.
Okay, so again, let's.
That's why politicians always carry out the agenda of their donors.
Not the voters.
Not the voters.
Ooh, that's a
Show
good one.
me a politician who
That's
has
a good
ever turned his back on their major donors. Them top 5, they get whatever they want. Because you got to remember, when people give you millions, you know that they also have a mercenary army that can pay you back if you don't deliver. So you know not to play with Morgan Stanley, right? You know not to play with Chase Manhattan. You know you don't play with them. If they dropping $5 million on your presidential run, your gubernatorial run, your mayoral run, you got to deliver or you'll wake up deceased tomorrow. They'll call it a heart attack or something.
Yeah.
But they took your life.
So all right, so back to, now that we've established that money is worth more than the vote.
Absolutely.
Back to the school and the donations.
Negro, here we go again.
Right, because this is, and the reason why I want to have this conversation with you is because I know you. So I know what you're doing. I believe in you. I know what you're doing. I've been knowing you since 2018, so I know what you're doing. But I know that there's doubt creeping into people that are on the fence.
Not the donors.
Right.
Because if doubt was creeping into my donors, right? Now, mind you, we record every donation. Every donation we received since 2014 is recorded. Nearly, I'm going to say 90% of our donors are repeat donors. There's few people in that book who only donated one time. They've been with me the whole ride. So when you're talking about the pushback and the doubt creeping in, it ain't from the people who matter. It's from the people
know,
who don't
Doc.
donate and don't matter. Give me the name of a repeat donor who's starting to feel doubtful about the school. I got elders, I got lawyers, I got doctors, I got corner boys, I got donors from every walk of life, not even to mention the international African community. London, Africa, Jamaica, Brazil, it come from everywhere. Show me where the doubt is creeping in that.
But see, I would say using context clues that, all right, 10 years or however long it's been, I would say that has to be some people that gave some money at some point that's saying, all right.
There might be, but they're not the majority.
Would you say that you've mismanaged donations in any way?
Absolutely not. We was audited by the IRS year before last, my brother.
Audited?
Yes, because of the YouTubian struggle streamers. They wrote letters to the governor of Delaware, the governor of PA, the Attorney General of Delaware, the Attorney General of DA. They wrote letters to the FBI, the IRS, and they interviewed us the year before last. Now, mind you, Black Lives Matter raised what? $100 million? I don't think they ever got audited. We never broke $1 million. We got audited the year before last, and we had to show them everything. The man was
You
like,
ain't broke $1 million?
Nah. Close to it, but we ain't broke $1 million, which is fine.
Yeah.
Because remember, black people
That's not
give me what they
fine.
got.
10 years, that's not fine. When you first came in, you said, you're giving me 20, but you got 40.
Right.
You're giving me
But here's
50,
the thing,
but
though,
you got
here's
100.
the thing. I'm cool with it because all of our major grassroots organizations were built on the pennies of black people. I'm cool with it. For me, it ain't the quantity, it's the quality of seeing that $10 check from grandma on fixed income every month without fail. Seeing that $100 check from that school teacher who got 3 children every month without fail. You see what I'm saying? That's what means something to me. I got college students who hit that Cash App for $10. They barely making it on campus, but they believe in my dream.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm not just doing this for me, I'm doing it for the people. I know how much our people are psychologically invested in this school. I gotta deliver for them.
Right, and because they're waiting, and that's why I want to have a conversation. Cause I know there's people that believe in you, and I believe in you, and there's people that I have conversation with, powerful people, right? That maybe won't come to you about it, but they'll have a conversation about, kind of what's going on. So I'm like, let's just kind of iron out a few more things. Now let me ask you this: does the tax code favor donations?
What you mean?
Does it put you in a position to keep most of it and actually put it towards the school, or
I'm unpaid.
No, I'm not talking about what you take. I'm saying the tax part. Like, is there a tax on it from the government?
No, you're non-tax.
Okay.
You're non-profit.
Yeah,
you got to report everything.
Okay.
But I'm unpaid.
Right.
I could pay myself, right? Why would I want to do that?
You good though. You one of them guys, man.
No, I ain't. But
yes. Don't try that.
You taking away. But that's how most multinational donation organizations work. Y'all know that. Remember all that money Michael Jackson gave to Africa? Remember that tour? Mike gave every dollar to AIDS. Remember that? Africa never saw that. You know why? Because legally, you can pay all your staff from the donations first. You can take care of all your bills for your organization, and what's left go to Africa. The whole nonprofit world is a scam for rich people to recycle their wealth right back to themselves and their crew. It's a scam.
I want to rewind that, please. I just want to rewind that. I ain't going to hardly have to say nothing. This man is the bomb.
Because legally, you can pay all your staff from the donations first. You can take care of all your bills for your organization, and what's
bills
left
can go up and down as much as you want.
The whole nonprofit world is a scam for rich people to recycle their wealth right back to themselves and their crew. It's a scam.
And you said that's not something you're willing to do?
No. I'm not paying myself. Now, when the school opened, I may pay myself a salary as principal, but even then, I'm going to try to do my best not to take a cent.
Have you, God forbid, and hopefully this never comes up, but have you thought about like school shootings?
Of course, security. We got a security plan, and we're going to have to keep on updating it as time goes on.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we're going to be ready.
I seen where the last school shooting that took place, they went and charged the mother and the father because the kid had access to the guns.
And that was correct.
You believe that to be the correct thing?
Yeah, guns should be locked up in the house if you got children. Stop being sloppy, man. Guns take lives. And these guns now, they powerful. Like, they powerful. So, yeah.
I seen also where someone was using your name. FDMG was like a website.
Yeah, there's a fake website. If y'all don't know about it, FDMGA. They put an A on it. FDMGA.com, based in Atlanta. And guess what? My assistant just showed me I got a letter in the mail from the Department of Charitable Organizations for the state of Georgia. So I suspect they think that's mine. You feel me? And I think they're saying I'm not properly registered. That ain't even me.
Wow.
So when I get home, I got to take care of that.
Yeah, because I was like, yo, they using your name, Frederick Douglass.
Man, look at all the fake cash apps, bro. Have you seen all the, for those of y'all who donate, y'all see, it's like 20 fake cash apps, 20 fake PayPals, 20 fake Instagrams, 20 fake Facebooks. I mean, my thing is, how you got this much time? Damn. I got about a dozen YouTubian struggle streamers who are dedicated to my downfall, right? 4 of them are super stalkers. Y'all know what I'm talking about. In fact, it's interesting because their initials all add up to the word lame. L-A-M-M, lame ass ninjas. One got an L, one got an A, one got an M, one got an E. I call them lame. And they make a video on me damn near every day, bro.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
What kind of a man? I want to meet their wives. What woman lets their man obsess over another man like that and stay with him?
Right.
If my woman obsessed like that over another woman or another man, this relationship is over. You giving them more energy than you giving me. What is this?
And I see it too. I be like, why do they? It's every day, bro. I mean, they'll go get some shit from 2010.
What color socks did he wear?
Yeah.
What kind of smoothie was that?
You ain't liking
Crazy,
that.
man.
What's your feelings about nepotism, like with Bronny James and LeBron?
It was nepotism, but I didn't have a problem with it. You want to know why? White privilege is nepotism. How you going to criticize a black man who built your league up, kept it running after Mike, after Kobe, LeBron, put it on his back, kept the NBA at a multi-million-dollar revenue, and he says, I want my son on my team. Look at all the nepotism y'all get. Look at all the owners who shouldn't be owners. Look at all the coaches who shouldn't be coaches. Look at all the GMs who shouldn't be GMs. You talk about some nepotism. Look what happened with 𝗗𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦 2 seasons ago with the Boston Celtics when he cheated on one of the white men in the hierarchy's wife, which was wrong. He had no business doing that, whether she was white or not. And they exposed 𝗗𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦 2. We never even heard the name of the white woman who voluntarily cheated with him. You talk about some nepotism. Look at that. She didn't lose her job, but he lost his. You know, so for me, I don't have a problem with a black man flexing his might as LeBron did, because he don't do it often, obviously, because he's controlled by them. But he flexed his muscle enough to get his son on a team, and I support it. I have no problem with a black person using their quote-unquote black privilege whenever they get a little bit.
I think that the hip hop community kind of had a reaction towards it.
I'm down with that.
What I was disappointed in is that hip hop or rap culture didn't have that same pushback on Elliot Grange, which is the person that's over Universal.
Okay.
If you've been noticing, the music industry has been changing at a rapid pace. He put his son at the head of all of the major labels. There's been people groomed for this job for 20 years.
Right.
Dog, it's been people being groomed for this position for 20 years. And he plucked his son, who'd been running a company called 10K. His last couple of signees were Ice Spice, Trippie Redd, cool acts, but not platinum plus acts. He didn't necessarily deserve the CEO position at the most powerful label in the world. And nobody in hip hop said nothing. And they know this because they work for him.
Can I give you another one?
Go ahead.
When I said Eminem has no business being considered the GOAT of hip hop, every major icon in the hip hop industry took Eminem's defense against Dr. Umar. But what happened a couple weeks ago? At the Country Music Awards, Beyonce Knowles and Cowboy Carter, which was the #1 country music album in this year, broke at least 8 different records. Every song on the album charted on the Country Music Top 100, Beyonce wasn't nominated for a single award. No white person said nothing. No black person said nothing. How in the hell do you come to the defense of Eminem when I say he can't be the GOAT and not a Negro said a word about Beyonce being completely shafted from the CMAs?
That's some crazy work. That is crazy. What do you feel about Beyonce?
Whoa, that's deep. That's deep, man. Think about it, man. Think. Wow, that's deep. I just wanted to soak it in a little bit. I wanted y'all to soak it in a little bit too. I ain't got nothing to say.
About Beyonce being completely shafted from the CMAs.
That's some crazy work. That is crazy. What do you feel about Beyonce? Is that her trying to flex her black privilege? Do you think she's interested in country music, or is she actually taking her status and trying to wipe out everything down?
Is that what white folks do? Last time I checked, Father Rockefeller said competition is a sin. You dominate and you monopolize as much as you can. Beyonce didn't do nothing wrong. Yeah. When white artists make headway into R&B, we don't say nothing. When they make headway into rap, we don't say nothing. Bieber. Absolutely. So what's wrong with Beyonce going into country music, which is a genre of music that was created by Africans on the plantations of the United States of America? We created country music, not them devils. So she had every right to be in country music.
Ain't it interesting how we'll accept Justin Bieber and
they won't accept
Beyonce? And
every culture gatekeeps except ours. Whoa. We don't gatekeep nothing. Whoa. We don't gatekeep black food. We don't gatekeep black music. We don't gatekeep black spirituality. You got white people now being voodoo priests. How in the hell can a cracker be a voodoo priest? See that? What do we gatekeep? You can go to a jazz concert and not a single black person on the ensemble. How is that possible? You got white drummers now. I was at an event not too long ago. Every African drummer was a Caucasian. We don't gatekeep. I'm not mad at white people for gatekeeping. We should be doing the same damn thing.
Let's talk about Diddy. I think this is where we get to some of the interesting conversation. For people who do not know, Sean P. Diddy Combs has been arrested on sex trafficking, amongst other charges, racketeering. He's been involved with one of his exes, Cassie Ventura, who filed a lawsuit, and it led into a federal investigation which deemed him responsible for things that they have him arrested for. I don't know if he's guilty or innocent. There's a lot of evidence that they point to. I haven't seen much. I did see a video, but he has been denied bond twice. What is your feelings about Sean P. Diddy Combs?
Vince McMahon of the WWE has been accused of sex crimes as egregious as Sean Combs, probably worse, has yet to be arrested. Donald Trump was found guilty in court last year or this year of having committed rape against a woman, and black people still want to make him president of the United States. So for Negroes, my first question would be, where's all this selective morality coming from? Why is it that one man must be destroyed for sex abuse, but you don't mind voting for another one to be your next president? So we need to check ourselves. That's number one. Now, with that being said, I don't condone sex abuse against women. What Sean Combs did to, what's her name, Ventura? Cassie in that hallway was egregious, unbecoming of a man, completely unacceptable. And if he were charged for that crime, I would probably agree that he needs to suffer some sort of sentence for it. But guess what? She settled out of court. She took $30 million back to her snow puppy, and she's living her life, okay? It wasn't right, but guess what? She ain't making no more fuss about it. She took money on that. And mind you, 2 days after that stomp out from Puff, she was on the red carpet with him at an award show. So how much of a problem was it really for you? I'm not condoning domestic abuse, But what I am looking at is a greater picture here where black men, when they're guilty of the same crimes as white men, are hung out to dry, whereas we don't see the same thing with white males. Look at Garth Brooks. Isn't he based here?
Yeah.
Garth Brooks just got accused of sex assault.
That.
You hear almost nothing about it. Why? Because the media is keeping you focused on Diddy. Look at all the children who are raped by the Roman Catholic Church, but instead they're going to worry about R. Kelly. Look at Harvey Weinstein, but instead we're going to worry about R. Kelly. I don't have a problem with Puffy Combs being held accountable for crimes against women. I don't condone it at all. But don't make him the scapegoat for an entire system that the government itself participates in and upholds. That's my issue. Don't make R. Kelly the entire face and the scapegoat of child pedophilia when you got 30,000 Roman Catholic priests who ain't never been held accountable for raping kids much younger than them girls R. Kelly was making music with.
This is a GOAT. This right here is a GOAT.
Of child pedophilia when you got 30,000 Roman Catholic priests who ain't never been held accountable for raping kids much younger than them girls R. Kelly was making music with. What I'm saying, get all the pedophiles, get all the sex traffickers. Don't make my people the scapegoat for it. And we, as black people, better learn to stop publicly condemning our own.
I was just going to talk about
when that Mexican murdered, unalived that sister, you ain't hear no Mexican people get all on the internet and say he need to be hung out to dry. When white people do other people wrong, they don't publicly condemn. Black people better stop doing that, because what they're doing is they're using our self-hate and this need to feast on the failure of each other as a way to publicly crucify us. So by the time black people get done publicly exterminating this person's image, whatever we do to them, nobody else will care.
Right.
We got to stop doing that.
And
I believe in due process. And this is what I said. So Puffy, his federal indictment got 3 counts. Count 1, racketeering. I don't know if he's guilty or not. Count 2, interstate sex trafficking.
And I want to talk
have
about
a hard
that.
time
Yes.
believing.
Yes.
I have a hard time believing that Sean Combs has to force, steal, and kidnap women across state lines to engage in sex with the money he has.
Yes.
I'm not saying he's innocent. I don't know. But I'm having a hard time believing.
Right.
Now, the third count, I think he might be guilty. The third count is interstate prostitution, paying for sex.
Now, what's the difference between count 2 and 3?
Sex trafficking, the woman is being held against her will. It's bondage. Sex trafficking is sexual slavery.
Would you say that video? Because what I think they're doing is trying to use that video.
What video?
When he ran down the stairs and grabbed it and assaulted her. Cassie,
that
right.
was his woman, though.
But still, that what they're saying is that in this video, what we're viewing is someone trying to escape a quote-unquote freak-off. And so what you're seeing is someone running
so why was
from
he at the red carpet with him the next day?
Exactly. But this is what you know they say Stockholm syndrome. But what I'm saying is,
I see what,
this how they playing it.
Tough sell.
This how the feds are playing it. So what they're saying is that video that we have is her attempting to leave a freak off. Now this is where they get him. Her attempting to leave a freak off. He runs out and grabs her and hit her, beat her, and bring her back in there. In her words, to continue to freak off.
I was never told that was a freak off. I was told they were just staying in a hotel together.
Here's the thing, though. Yeah, of course.
And even if it is, that's only one incident. It's going to be difficult for them to convict him off of something that happened 7, 8 years ago that's not even a part of the federal indictment.
I think he shouldn't have, number one, I think he shouldn't have never agreed that was him on that video. I mean, it's clear as day.
Well, you could tell it was him.
Yeah, but still, we're in the age of AI.
That wasn't the big mistake. The big mistake was not Puff admitting to that being him on the video and issuing the apology. You know what the biggest mistake was for Puff?
What?
Agreeing to pay her in less than 24 hours. When he agreed to pay Cassie in less than 24 hours, the white power structure smelled blood. And Diageo, the liquor company that he sued, when they saw that he was that quick to cover up Cassie, knowing he must have more skeletons, that's when they picked up the phone, they called King Charles. King Charles called whoever his connect is in the U.S. government, and his house was raided within a few weeks after he settled with Diageo. Diageo is who brought Puffy down. They're one of the biggest liquor companies in the world.
Yeah.
Puffy sued them for racism and advertising. He said that you keep on marketing my brand as an urban liquor. This is not urban liquor. Anybody can drink this. Puffy thought that they was putting him in a corner so it wouldn't affect the sales of their other brands, so we sued him. Diageo tried to get the lawsuit thrown out, and the judge sided with Puff, and it continued. And they started losing money, they started losing influence, and you know we spend more money on alcohol than any other group. They couldn't afford that, so Puffy brought them to their knees. Puffy made Diageo settle out of court. They wouldn't even go to trial. And guess what? He basically embarrassed them. And they said, we're gonna get his ass back. We're gonna show, and remind you, they are a British-based company. You talking about that white Anglo-Saxon energy, you feel me? They said, we're gonna show him. You don't ever challenge us like that. And within a few weeks after they settled, they raided his home.
You know, last time I seen Diddy.
And let me not also leave out the fact that Puffy's arrest was also a distraction from the fact that one of the main reasons that the port workers were going to strike or are going to strike is because they said that they were tired of hearing children banging on the shipping containers at the docks. Did y'all hear what I just said? They said they can hear the sex traffic victims inside the containers, y'all. And they tired of being forced to act like they don't know is human beings in these canisters and not merchandise. So they had to lock up Puff and make him the scapegoat for sex trafficking when you got a whole industry that's about to boycott because they're getting sick and tired of children being transported on the docks.
Damn, I never heard that.
Yes.
Where
Save the children. Any children. Any children. Can y'all fathom this? Can y'all even fathom this, what he's saying?
They don't know is human beings in these canisters and not merchandise. So they had to lock up Puff and make him the scapegoat for sex trafficking when you got a whole industry that's about to boycott because they're getting sick and tired of children being transported on the docks.
Damn, I never heard that.
Yes.
Where is this at?
It's on the internet.
Yeah, I need to check into that.
Yes.
Wow, that's crazy.
On the internet.
Now, but let's go back to that video. You don't think him acknowledging that video played into this at all?
He didn't have to acknowledge it. Everybody could see it was Puff.
Yeah, but
his biggest mistake was giving her $30 million in less than 24 hours. He should have let it ride a little bit and then maybe.
Well, the more you let it ride, well, it came out anyway. So it was coming out anyway.
It showed that he was too desperate to keep his demons.
Oh man, missing the point.
Now you see what they got. They got 120 people. That white man, thirsty lawyer, 120 people talking about. Now some of them they didn't already exposed. One girl just got exposed trying to get her brother to co-sign the story.
Give him $3 million.
So anybody who's been around Puffy alone, they're gonna try to hit him for the cash.
They done opened him up. Now, do you think financially he's at risk?
Of course, because the purpose of the indictments in the trials is to liquidate your wealth through lawyer fees. This is how they tried to get Bill Cosby. This is how they got R. Kelly. This is how they want to get Diddy. You imagine what his lawyers are probably charging him. He probably got a 5 team of lawyers. They probably $1,000 an hour. You know they billing for time that they're not even working. This is how you get rich blacks. You liquidate them through the court fees.
And then also another trick is the volume of lawsuits in the districts. So they're also playing a very strategic game where 30 lawsuits in New York, 30 in Miami, 30 in, so they got 120 different.
And let us not lose in all of this the Willie Lynch symbolism. What did Willie Lynch tell the slave owners in Richmond, Virginia in the 1700s? The way you control your slaves is to get the biggest, brightest one, break him down in front of his people till he's nothing. So all the rest of them know not to get out of line. Remember, Puffy started that Our Black Party. Remember that? our black party. One of the reasons he was raided in March is they wanted to make sure his political voice wasn't heard at the RNC or the Democratic National Convention. They needed Puffy muted. They couldn't afford for Puff to be talking about black people doing exactly what Dr. Umar been talking about. Unite your votes and don't give it to either party without some serious promises. They couldn't afford that. He had to be taken out of the political conversation early, so he couldn't weigh in on this. And this is why they raided him back in March. And this is why he's arrested right now. So he has no influence over the presidential election.
You know, and I got a lot of respect for your mental. And something is funny for me that you're just throwing off the fact that he came out and apologized for that video.
No.
I don't understand that. To me, that was a mistake.
You saw it was him. Who didn't see it?
Yeah, but it's the age we're in. I know you're saying
That's
that,
small.
but his voice saying, I'm sorry, my behavior, I just think that...
What else was he going to do, not apologize?
No, you don't say nothing.
So
you don't
what?
say
That's
nothing.
small.
You stay quiet, your lawyers, give them room to say, validate that video.
That is
I'm
so
with you on
small.
that.
Number one, validate that. Where did that come from?
I don't think you lie and say it's not
Right,
true.
you don't say nothing.
But you do stay quiet.
Yes.
You do stay quiet. He did not need to speak on it at that time.
Yes.
Especially knowing you had far more skeletons in that closet. Yes, I agree with you. Yes. Knowing how much is coming out now, he would have been best to keep silent and issue an apology when it's completely
And then
over.
his lawyer could have at least went in there and said, well, Your Honor, we haven't validated that video. We don't know the origins. We don't know if it's been tampered with. We don't know nothing.
Nobody's going to convince me that Sean Puffy Combs' lawyers ain't working for the government.
Oh, yes. Let's talk about that. That's a good one.
Nobody's going to convince me. They took down Puffy because even though Jay-Z may be the richest at this point and the most powerful, Puffy has been the longest reigning king of hip-hop. He was big when Jay-Z was just getting started. You feel me? So they needed to shame Puff to tell all the other rappers, don't you try to get political in these streets. Don't you ever think you're going to sue a big-time mega company like Diageo. Puffy is an example to every black person in entertainment that we are white and we still run this.
Let's deal with the lawyer side, because to me, when I look at the lawyer, I said, damn, it doesn't come off genuine. I'm wondering if he told Diddy that he was having one-way communication with the government, right? I'm believing Diddy was under the impression that I'm gonna get a bond. So he took $15 million, paid his house off. He was doing certain things because his lawyer told him, listen, stay away from your jet, pay your house off. We're gonna put the $50 million house up. And what was happening behind the scenes, nobody knew, was his lawyer was contacting the government, but they never was responding. So he would tell them, hey, Sean Combs is traveling to Tennessee today. He'll be there for 2 days, just in case you guys wanted to know. Hey, Sean Combs is not gonna be by his plane, you know, and this and that, so.
One thing we gotta recognize and keep in mind, brothers and sisters, there's certain types of crimes nobody wants to be associated with. Even if you're innocent, no one wants to be associated with. Some of y'all know I was down in Florida last month or the month before because the young brother Brendan Depper, the big dark-skinned 18-year-old black brother, beat the white teacher's aide who took his Nintendo Switch. Y'all remember that?
I remember that.
Well, Brendan Depper's mother told me, allegedly, she reached out to Ben Crump, who's based in Florida, to help exonerate her son because he's adopted. Ben Crump wouldn't help her. This is what the white woman told me. It's because Ben Crump didn't want to be associated with, I assume, a domestic abuse assault of a big black man hitting a white woman. It's not good for his business.
Right.
Are you following me? So one of the things that the white power structure is doing to bring down our greatest, our most successful, not greatest, but most successful, most prominent, whatever the case may be, is charge them with crimes that most black people consider to be so despicable that we'll just cancel them and move on and not even worry about the details.
Shut them all up.
The reason Dr. Umar is still going to worry about the details is because if they try to do that to you, if they try to do that to me, if they try to do that to one of y'all, we don't have Puffy's money. We can't afford that kind of a defense. So as black people, even though we disagree with Puff, we all got issues with Puff. At the same time, we're going to make sure the courts provide him with his constitutional right to due process. We are not going to send them a message that says we don't care what you do with him because we're through with him. Because if we convict him in the public eye, we're doing exactly what the judicial system has done to black men for 400 years. Convict them in the public eye and lynch them from jail before they even had their day in court. And that's why when I see people say, well, Dr. Umar, you taking up for Puffy. Look at what he did. I'm not taking up for Puffy. I'm taking up for the right of black people to get a fair trial before a jury of their peers and be convicted the right way, not off of YouTube videos. We got to be very careful about getting too emotional about these kind of topics because that's exactly what they want you to do. And Puffy not getting any bail, that was complete racism. That was to humiliate him. You think he deserves bail? That was to shame them. That was also to be able to put their hands on him if he runs his mouth. And most of all, that was to make sure Puffy couldn't get the real story out to us before they got him. Puffy was kept behind bars so he couldn't tell the truth on his own terms.
So you think he deserves a bail?
Why not? They give him bail to... Vince McMahon ain't even went to jail. Why not?
Yeah. I mean,
until he's been proven guilty. I ain't seen an ounce of evidence on sex trafficking. Prostitution.
And you did, let's get to that, because you said the prostitution one you believe. What's, first of all...
Because of the freak-offs, and some people say you go there, they might pay you. I'm not saying he's guilty of prostitution. I'm saying that seems to be the easiest.
What's your feelings on prostitution?
I don't support prostitution.
Right.
But so, it is the oldest female profession on the planet Earth. It's discussed in the Bible. I don't agree with it, but it's the oldest female profession on the planet Earth.
Wow. So you believe him to be, do you think they're overreaching with these charges? Like, I mean, a wealthy man, I'm gonna have money involved in my interactions with women. That's just how we go. I mean, I may not give them no money.
You gotta remember something. There's talk that R. Kelly might get out. It don't matter. He's already been disgraced. The issue here is not whether Puffy goes to jail. The issue here is to disgrace him so much that nobody would go anywhere near him after he gets out. It's the disgracing of the black man that's most important. Because you can go to jail, serve 5 years, come back and go right back on top. They need him to be disgraced completely.
Do you think he'll beat the charges?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Do you think they'll add more charges with the 120?
I can see more charges coming. You know, the feds have what? A 90% conviction rate?
Right.
I don't see, it's going to be difficult for Puffy not to do any time. You feel me?
Right.
I think they could get him on that prostitution. The racketeering, I don't know. But again, because this is a white power structure takedown, I don't see him getting out of there without doing some kind of time.
And the freak off thing, right? So here's the details from the video. They said, man, if you paid attention to the video, Diddy had socks on. So, because first people was saying that he was in the shower, because you know he had a towel on. That's why they're saying that he was naked and they was literally freaking in there, right? He had socks. You can't be in the shower with your socks on and you're butt naked. That's why you got the towel. So are you walking around the room butt naked and she snuck out? Like,
I'm not getting that deep into Puffy's towel and socks.
But what I'm saying is
a little bit too much perspiration.
No, but what I'm saying is that they're framing that one video and they're calling that what was the charge you said it was?
Sex trafficking.
Yes, so against her will. Right? So they're saying he grabbed him and threw her back in there, but I believe Diddy to do some time as well. I don't think he gets out scot-free.
And the freak off thing to me, bro, that has been overplayed too many times. That's what they do in that industry. All of them do it. Hugh Hefner had a living freak off. Hugh Hefner allegedly had underage women in the Playboy Mansion. He never got accused of dirt. Here we go again with this selective morality again. White men did exactly what Puff did, and ain't nothing.
But he didn't travel with people.
Who did?
They say Hefner had everybody in Vegas.
Yes, he did.
He traveled?
Yes, he did. And he ain't the only one. They all did it. They all did it.
Yeah, because I heard, I was looking into that, and I was like,
look at all the people who was on the Jerry Epstein plane. Donald Trump allegedly was on that. Hillary and Billary was allegedly on that. They said Barack Obama allegedly was on the Epstein plane. Come on, y'all. Are we trying to stop sex trafficking, or are we just trying to shame a black mogul because he stood up to a white power company.
But here's also something I find interesting. I think the mainstream media is doing a little trick. And I kind of hear you allude to it as well, where it's like, that's a hip hop thing. That's what they do. And it's like, I don't think that's a hip hop thing.
Me either, but I'm glad you brought that up. Did you hear that lawyer who's representing the 120 victims say, we're going after the participants in the freak-offs? Now, I want to see how this goes. You want to know why? Because it wasn't all black people at them freak-offs. And if you start digging into holes, you're going to pull a lot of crackers out them holes. Are y'all following me?
Yeah.
So I want to see how far. I don't think he's going to be able to do that. I think the white power structure going to pull that lawyer's cord and say, you're going to stop with Diddy or stop with the inner circle. Because if you keep on going.
You're going to get the liquor. He said he want the liquor. Here's the trick, right? So Diddy threw these massive parties.
Yeah.
Sponsored by 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦. So what happens is people are going to allege that they were that at a 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦 sponsored party and some stuff happened and it's gonna go back to that company that
Here's what I think.
Diageo or whatever the
Right,
name is.
there's too many power players and too many power companies involved in the entire spider web of Hollywood and music industry sex trafficking. They cannot afford that lawyer to unravel all of those chains. Are y'all following me? So either he gonna get his collar pulled or they gonna take his life. You're not bringing that, what's the guy who brought Puffy into?
Clive Davis?
You're not bringing Clive Davis down. You can forget it. You can forget it. It ain't, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're gonna give him a ring and a limit, and that's gonna be
He
it.
was talking about the places they threw the parties, the people that fight.
This is how you know if they serious or not. Let's see if they get T.D. Jakes in there. Because we know he was at the freak-offs. Pray, he was baptized in the sheets and stuff before the freak-offs.
He got one on. He got one, man. Go on, doc. Go on, doctor.
Because we know he was at the freak-offs. Pray, he was baptized in the sheets and stuff before the freak-offs.
Hey, babes, yeah, so, you know, they playing a dangerous game, man. They calling this a hip-hop thing, and I do want us to push back on that as being people that introduce...
Because they're gambling that nobody in the hip-hop industry got enough guts to expose a higher up. Are y'all following me? They're gambling that we can take down all these Negroes in Puffy Circle who attended these freak-offs and engaged in sex with women against their will, and they're gonna be too scared to mention a white man's name. Because after all, when Jerry Epstein said, I'm not going down by myself, he was dead within a week, and they called it a suicide. Everybody know that wasn't no suicide. Jerry Epstein should have never said, I'm not going down by myself. And I think Puffy Combs knows better.
Yes.
He cannot do
Well,
it.
they said he'd been doing a hunger strike. He's scared to eat.
No,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because they'll poison his food. Puffy, he be around them people. Puffy know how they get you.
Yeah.
Puffy know how they get you.
What's your feeling on Jaguar Wright?
Yo, what's going on, man? If you're watching this video, I want you to know the only way you can see the full episode is if you head over to patreon.com and sub that podcast. We made a decision that we cannot drop the entire episode for consumption because we're being targeted, as well as long form content belongs to the supporters at the Patreon people. So if you want to see the rest of this, head to patreon.com. It's up that podcast. I really appreciate the love. 2025 and beyond, you know, it's real love for me. Salute.
Yeah, I went on and played that ending, you know, so I'm trying to support and shout the brother as much as possible, man, because that was a great intro, man. I mean, even though it's a longer podcast, right? But I'm be honest with y'all, you might want to look at that or look at this video 2 or 3 times, because that's what I do. The brain, the mind can only accept, if you want to study this, your brain only retains 20% of the information. So you have to, if you want to learn, if you want to better yourself, if you want to make a difference, He said 30 million was raised for Miss Harris to run, and she lost. What happened to the 30 million? Your biggest supporters are the ones who get what they want. You see what I'm saying? Money. A lot of people have said that money ain't everything, or money can't buy you love, or whatever type of, however you want to say that. That's a poor man's way of making themselves feel better. I heard people like this say that. Money ain't everything. Like hell it ain't. Money is everything. Money dictates what doctors you going, what kind of food you're going to eat on the McDonald's dollar menu to save that money. Or you going to have yourself a top of the line sirloin, healthy, better food. Healthy food costs more. Money dictates so much stuff. But back to the Puffy thing, man. That's a whole different deepness, man. What he's saying, I got to rewind and say it again, because they making an example. I know that they making an example out of Puffy. Now, how does that play into humiliating him like R. Kelly? A person would think I'm crazy if I say, I can't believe this, man. I'm really believing that R. Kelly was set up. How you gonna say that? How you gonna say? Because of that horse tranquilizer stuff, man. He know he was set up. Mom, I got mixed up in this stuff, and they are giving me these medicines, and I can't. And they making me do stuff against my will on camera, so they can humiliate me in the public's eye. And he tried to tell his story. LeBron James. These people are not great communicators. I just write songs and I do my thing and everybody loves it. That's the gift. God gave me a gift, and all you gotta do is don't be greedy and he'll bless you, because he knows that you're gonna help other people. Let me get on up out of here, because this was a long video. Hey, y'all, take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.